Hey church, I want to welcome you to a series, a 4-week series of Shouted in the Streets. And we're going to be looking at the book of Proverbs. And so at the end of the day, I'm looking forward to seeing what fruit it bears in your life, in my life, as we study and go through the book of Proverbs. And so today I want to start with an invitation to get wisdom, or above all else, let's get wisdom. Isn't it funny at life as you grow up? At the age of 14, you thought you knew everything. And at the moment I've got teenagers, I've got young ones in the house, and it's amazing how much they know. And then when you start to move into your 20s, you realize that how much you can actually start to learn from others, but then you hit your 30s and you realize you don't know everything. And then if you become like me and you hit your 40s, you realize that you know nothing. One of my favorite sayings is, the only true wisdom is that you know nothing. And so I look at this and I always find this is that there is always someone smarter than you in the room. And today I want to say this is, if there is not anyone smarter than you in the room on other subjects or certain subjects, and you're the smartest person in the room, you need to find a new room. Jack Hayford believes this is that the book of Proverbs is a collection, not just a collection of sayings, but a collection of collections. And so today we're going to start to look in the book of Proverbs, and we're just going to start with the topic of wisdom. And so today I want to invite you to this topic to understand wisdom. The unifying thought or theme of Proverbs is this, is that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of understanding, or the beginning of wisdom. Proverbs 9 verse 10. The secret of obtaining genuine wisdom is this, is fearing God. And this isn't a fear out of fear of tyranny or a fear of terror, but a fear of awe. Awe of just admiring who God is, admiring His wisdom. I look at here today and I see the sun, I see the ocean, I see the sky, I see everything. And it's just an awe. And so the true beginning of wisdom is just in awe of who our God is. That is the fear of the Lord. Proverbs 1 verse 5 says, a wise man will increase in understanding. And my motto in life is this, is that I always learn from someone else's mistakes. Instead of going through them yourself, I find someone else, I look at what they've done, I look at how they failed, and I go, you know what, I don't want to do that. And so wisdom is that looking beyond yourself, looking to others for wise counsel. The first thing that I find is that wisdom is the most valuable asset anyone could ever have. Wisdom is the most valuable asset that you could ever have. Common sense isn't that common anymore. I don't know if you've noticed that, but you look in life right now and some things you just look at and you go, how did they even, what are they? Do they have you know what I mean. You've seen them, maybe you've been them, I don't know, but that's how it is. But sometimes I believe this is that wisdom is the most valuable asset that we could ever have. You think about it, when you employ a tradie, you employ the right tradie, you employ the person with the right knowledge. And so in life, I believe this is that we're called to have the right wisdom to get us through life. God gives us wisdom so that we can walk through the doors that He opens. And so today I want to encourage you, lean in to wisdom. Tune your ear to wisdom, to what God has. And again, if you hire the wrong tradie, you hire a plumber to do an electrical work, it's not going to work out. It's not going to happen. And so today, wisdom is the most valuable asset that you could ever have. The second thing is that wisdom begins in God. Wisdom begins in God. Everything begins in God. I love it. Wisdom begins in God and not in ourselves. We will always fail. We will always fall short. But when we rely on God, when we come to God with an open heart, we can actually start to move forward in our life. Wisdom begins in Him. The book of Proverbs says this, lean into wisdom, lean into Him. We need to understand, we need to come and pay attention to His ways, pay attention to His decrees, His principles. They will help us through life. Some questions that I ask in situations is God, what are you trying to teach me through this? My life, it has its challenges. Your life has its challenges, and I need wisdom to get through it. And so what I do in certain situations is I sit back. I might know the answer because I don't know everything, but I'll sit back and I'll go, God, what are you trying to teach me through this? God, what are those things that I need to understand? And I lean into Him. I lean into His wisdom, into His Spirit. I open up His Word and I say, God, you need to teach me right now through these things. The other thing that I find in 3 is that wisdom is available to anyone. Wisdom is available to anyone. Wisdom is available to you. It's available to me. But one thing that I find is that we need to seek out wisdom. You've got to look for it. It just won't happen. You've got to seek it. You've got to learn. You've got to pay attention. And this is what I find is that there are a lot of people that know everything, but they know nothing. They know nothing. They think they know everything. They're not willing to learn. They're not willing to lean in. And I want to encourage you today is lean in to God. Lean in to wisdom. Lean into Him. And know that you don't know everything. Don't be a 14-year-old. Don't be a 14-year-old. Grow up. Learn that you can learn from others, that you need to learn into others. You know, this is what I find is that wisdom has a price, but not everyone's willing to pay for it. Not everyone's willing to lay down their own agenda. They're not willing to lay down their own ego and realize that there is someone smarter around. They're not willing to look for answers beyond themselves. If they don't know it, it's not worth knowing. You know, that's not what we should be. We should be seeking out wisdom. We should know everything. I got a mate by the name of Peter Toth, and right now he's actually building a caravan, and he is seeking out everything. Like every time I see him, he's talking about lithium batteries. I just think a battery is a battery, but no, there are batteries. There are $1,000 batteries. There are $6,000 batteries, but he's going to get the battery that's right for him. And this is what I find. I love it because he's seeking out the wisdom of others. You know, we are called to seek out wisdom from others. And today I want to encourage you. Who are those that you can learn from? What are those things that you need to know? And lean into God when it comes to the things that you need to know about life and making decisions and life-altering decisions in your life. And the fourth thing that I find is wisdom and righteousness come hand in hand. They come together. It doesn't come separately. You know, you can't separate the two. You will do the right thing no matter what the cost. That's what wisdom is that you'll do the right thing no matter the cost. I find this, it is good to be wise, but it is also wise to be good in life. So over the next 3 weeks, what we're going to be looking at is we're going to be looking at the book of Proverbs. We're going to be delving in and seeing what wisdom has to say. And there's a few subjects that we're going to look at. We're going to look at lust, marriage, and family. We're going to look at diligent, friendship and etiquette. We're going to look at folly, happiness and eternity. We're going to look at speech and work ethic. So over the next few weeks, what we're going to do is we're going to study these things. I want to encourage you right now, if you're not part of an online group and you're listening to this today and you want to get connected, make sure you click the link below. Get connected. We're going to study through these over the next 4 weeks in the life of our church at Citipointe Redcliffe. But by the end of it, what we want to see is we want to see fruit. We want to see lives change. We want to be able to have wisdom around our life to make the right decisions in every area of our life. And so I want to invite you to come and be part of this. Be part of Proverbs, be part of studying, be part of learning, be part of just leaning in and hearing what God has for you, has for your family, has for your future, and the path that He has, and giving you the wisdom to make the right decisions at the right time. Before we finish today, I want to share a video with you, and I hope you're inspired by this video. It's a video about one of our series about Shout It on the Streets, and I want to make sure that you're blessed by this, you're encouraged by this, but keep watching, get connected in some way, and make sure this week that you shout it on the streets, wisdom, wisdom. And this week we're going to pray that God will move in your world, that He'll expand you, that He'll give you wisdom beyond all understanding. Catch you all later, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Salami, and I've been a part of Citipointe Church since 2014. I work in a small office environment, and I'm a full-time employee, and during the peak of the coronavirus season, we were extremely busy. We had a new employee starting our office, and we started building a relationship, and she learned that I'm a part of Citipointe Church, and she had all these questions, and she assumed she was a Christian, and after a while I learned that she's never been to church, and she was really excited to know when church will open up again. And I said, well, due to restrictions, I'm not sure, but we have got the Heartbeat on Wednesday nights where you can tune in and listen to our location pastors. And she started listening to every Wednesday night to the Heartbeat, and a few weeks back she came in and she said she accepted the salvation call, and I was so excited. And we started talking more and more about church and God, and I was so excited because for me it's just God places us. He orchestrates things so that we can meet each other, and God is a master planner. And she said when she accepted the salvation call, she felt something different. And for me, it's so amazing that God can speak to you wherever you're at, through a screen, through social media. And that's where He met her, where she was at. And she's been saying she's been feeling this pulling, this yearning towards something. And I said it was Jesus. And it's so amazing how God just uses us. And for me, just to say, yes, Lord, I am available. She was able to we were able to move together. And so yes, I'm really excited to be a part of God's plan and what He's doing and how He moves and how He places people together.